Hey everyone, welcome back to Sister Talks, the podcast, where we two sisters talk about laughs, life, and things that make us go, yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't think I'm with that. My name is Shanice. I am the CEO and podcast host of Succeed with Shanice, and I'm here with my sister.
I am Jay, the owner, I guess, of the My Core Memory Vaults YouTube channel.
Yeah, not I guess you are. And before we get into our normal agenda of things, I would like to start this episode off with setting some intention. You probably won't listen to this podcast by the time, how do I put this? In the moment of us recording, we are at the start of yet another month. July flew by really fast, and we are now into August. And so I would like to start this episode just setting a few manifestations that we hope to see by the end of August. And then hopefully we'll remember in our last episode or our last recording in August to circle back. But I'll start. So for August, my hopes, dreams, manifestations is to first prioritize good and healthy habits because I started falling off once summer began, and I want to get back to the exercising, the good eating, especially the snacking, and just doing all the things that make my body and my soul feel good. I also want to manifest surprise deposits into my bank account. I want to wake up shocked of all the deposits that just keep coming on in into my respective accounts. And then lastly, and most importantly, I hope to manifest expanding my network and community connections because I have been enjoying meeting new people, and I want to continue that momentum because it seems like everybody's outside now. So hopefully I can engage with a lot more people of different backgrounds and stories and be able to collaborate and build community together. So that's my hope for August.
I wish I knew that we were doing this. I would have
Surprise!
wrote something.
If it's fair, I wrote it like just now.
So I did write my manifestations for this month, technically. And without getting too specific, I'm just going to start doing the courageous things, like just moving a little more with courage this month. So that means like setting the meetings I need to set so I can get like my planner plan off the ground. So like to fully have that project done by the end of this month. Also, obviously, to have your website done by the end, well, honestly, by the end of next week. And to be working on like getting out. And that's why I was like moved with courage, because it was like, it's more so me getting out and like networking or just like meeting people in spaces where I don't normally even get out to go to. Also, I want to really focus this month on kind of like detoxifying my body. Just so, because like I've been working out and it's been working and that's great. But like at the end of the day, if there's like toxins there, you kind of can't like outrun a toxin. So I want to really like focus on like eating better or like utilizing the herbs that we have so many. So like actually making the teas and like utilizing the herbs that we have and just focusing that way on more of like a holistic health. And That's pretty much all I have. I mean, every month it's always money. I'm always, Lord, I'm always going to be accepting funds. But that's pretty much it in terms of like the things that I can control of what I'm going to manifest.
Yeah, I think that's good because I think I'll speak for myself. I get so caught up in the worries and the stressors of all of the things that I know for a fact. I can't control how it happens. I can control the outcomes. I can control how I respond to them, but I lose track of, well, there are some things that I actually can control. And me being able to feel more, I guess, grounded in the things that I can control helps me to continue to move forward and be hopeful and manifest as the days go by. So I thought we would start this episode just reminding ourselves that, yes, it's another month, but it's another month for us to do all the things that we want and can control, and everything else is just part of life.
Nice. I love it. I have first an announcement, second a story or a thing in the news, if we can do that.
Yeah, well.
First, the announcement is the podcast will now be posted on Thursdays. Before it was posted on Mondays early in the morning because I was like, oh, that's how people can start their week. But now it's going to be Thursdays because we're kind of catching up with where we are. So for it to be a little more us talking about news that that's current, since we film, or we don't film, since we record on to, well, yet, when I get my camera, we're going to be filming. But since we record on Tuesdays, I figure I'd edit it on Wednesdays and then it'll be posted and ready to go by Thursday. And then so it's kind of like a 2-day lag instead of like a whole week has gone by. Also, I have some, so that was the announcement, by the way. And then
I think that's a good schedule for sure. Make sure that we're resonating with folks in time with what's actually happening.
Cool. And then I have a story. So this was posted by The Independent. That's where the article is. And here's the title.
Oh boy.
British teenager boards flight to Italy without a ticket after losing parents in the airport.
Wait.
So a British teenager boarded the wrong flight home after being separated from his family at the airport in Spain and then ended up in Italy instead of London.
Oh my gosh.
15-year-old parent lost sight of him, raised the alarm discovering that he had successfully boarded a flight to Milan without a ticket after police reviewed CCTV.
Oh, that's the article.
I mean, the article's really
more.
long,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to get into it. Obviously, they're like,
15.
we have to look into how he was able to do this.
Absolutely.
And get be an unaccompanied minor. But I think it's funny how they write the article as if this is like a wandering 5-year-old.
Right, because it's not, I mean.
You 15, you can read.
Right.
You know where you're going. And you don't just lose sight of a 15-year-old. That 15-year-old walked away.
Exactly. And I'm trying to figure out, when you board, they check your ticket before you get on the plane, unless it's something different over there on the other side of the pond. But they look at your ticket before you even enter the gate.
They look at our tickets.
They look real long at our tickets, even if I have it on my phone.
I know London is diverse, but I just have an inkling because ain't no way.
At least you got a good trip, a free trip, really. to Milan.
But that was just the story that.
That's funny.
Because here I am trying to work my way to a ticket. I'm not going to
right.
Italy though.
You're right.
But here I am trying to work my way to a ticket, and I can just be 15-year-old and hop on a plane.
And it's interesting with everything that's going on with the airlines right now. Like folks just acting out while they're waiting for their flights, or on the plane. They kind of just, you would think the airline folks would be a bit more diligent, like, hey, sir, you didn't scan or hand us a ticket. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not a kid to where he can like hide under somebody or walk in with a parent. He's a whole teenager, but who am I? I don't know.
I don't know either, but that was the story.
That's funny.
So I'll pass it back to you.
Okay. Well, what I am hoping to continue doing on a daily basis is a word of the day. I feel like my vocabulary is lacking because of social media and Netflix and all the things, and I have not necessarily gotten back to making time for reading and things like that. I don't know if I'll ever even get back there. Even audiobooks, like even though I had a stint where I was doing an audiobook a month, the vocabulary just isn't vocabulary-ing. So I'm trying to do this thing where every day I wake up in the morning and just learn a new word of the day. So today I learned this word. Oh, and learn different, is the word vernacular? Like different generational terms. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So the first word of the day that I learned was negging. Not to be confused with nagging.
This is not a...
For me. As again, this is my perspective of me learning words of the day. This is new for me.
But it's like a social media word.
Oh, I heard it. A young lady was sharing a story. I don't want to give away her business. But basically she was sharing a story and she used it. She was like, this guy was nagging me.
Yeah.
And then she was like, not to be confused with nagging, like nagging. And I was like, what's nagging?
Yeah, I learned that on YouTube. But go ahead. I'll let you. Go ahead.
I'm going to, for those who are like me and stick to the old dusty dictionary and may not be privy to these new words, I, of course, looked it up. And I hope I put it in my phone. I did. Okay. I looked it up to get a pure definition of negging. Negging. And it states it is an insult or undermine of someone in the belief that diminished self-confidence will make them more receptive to sexual advances. Mm-hmm. The fact that a word, I'm sorry, let me move on with the definition before I even get to my initial, definition. Negging is a manipulative behavior where someone gives a backhanded compliment or mild insult to undermine your confidence, often disguised as teasing. It's commonly used in dating or social situations as a tactic to make the other person seek the manipulator's approval. Mm-hmm. Here's my initial, and if you have any to share as well, feel free. I'm trying not to cuss. What the heck? The fact that this happens so often, because I'm familiar with the situational context of the word. Very familiar. But the fact that it happens so often that they had to make up a word for it, just so that it would be commonly acknowledged means we are not doing, not us, ladies, we are not doing a good job in ensuring their safe environments, both in social settings, but most specifically in dating. So that's my initial. I'm still teetering on how I want to go with this conversation, but I will pause here for your feedback.
I was like, we can go to the pits of hell with this conversation.
Because that's really where it's going in my head.
So I learned this from, honestly, from YouTube channels like women sharing their stories about like their boyfriends. And I meant to correct something that I said last week. I said that I was like, I'm going to like actively start dating and do all the things that I need to do with like dating or whatever. And I'm going to put effort into it. I'm not. So that's the announcement. No. But there's just a whole bunch of women like sharing their stories on like TikTok about like their boyfriends will like slowly talk down to them. And then it came out, but like it was just like I don't even know. I don't want to say it like this because I don't believe that people like have ratings or whatever. But basically their boyfriends were like out of their league they were out of their boyfriend's league, if that makes sense. Like,
or they were made to believe they were out of their boyfriend's league.
No. Okay. So then the other way around.
Oh.
Like in real life, you would look at her and be like, why are you with him? Ew. Girl.
Oh, got it.
Like you are better than him.
Right.
But then that's how the boyfriends were like keeping them there. And I was like, oh, okay. Like
wild.
But it's crazy that when I learned about it, I was like, oh, okay. Much like watching Barbarian, like I can pinpoint a lot of places where this has happened in my life to me. B, and even it could happen with friendships too. It's not always in relations.
I was about to say.
But B, it's crazy that where are these men taking this class to do these things? You know what I mean? Like, how is everybody on the same page with this? And this goes beyond, because obviously I'm on like the Korean side of the internet. But like, I don't understand how this goes beyond borders. You know, like it's all different languages, women being treated anyhow.
Yep.
And that's the thing that I just don't understand, that it's like evidently all these men, I mean, they be in the same group chats evidently, but they're all on one accord to be exhibiting this behavior in a way that they know is detrimental, not only to them, because at the end of the day, you still feel like you are not good enough. So let's work on your self-confidence so you don't have to treat people poorly in order for them to remain in your presence. So that was my initial a long time ago.
Yeah, it's very manipulative. I don't know where this manipulation 101 course is for these individuals. And I'm saying individuals because this has happened to me, yes, more so with men than women, because for whatever reason, I am, quote unquote, what they say, not what I say. I'm very intimidating to men. But women have done this as well, just in, obviously not, well, I shouldn't say obvious, but not a romantic setting, but like professionally. Like I would be in a position where I have expressed my intelligence and expertise, and that may come off as intimidating to them. So they need to, quote unquote, knock me down a peg by saying, oh, you articulated that so well, but maybe you should work on the framing of it. Or maybe you should work on the structure of that when it has to do like a presentation at work, for example. So I won't say there's a gender thing there. However, there are a lot of people to where there's a word for it that somehow feel their first response to ensure they hold that power in that situation is by negging the other person. Why? Like I'm still, even when it happens to me, I still sit and I'm just like, now why would you go and do that? Like, I think I've even told a guy outright because he complimented me, but in a backhanded way. Like it was weird. It was like, oh, you have a nice smile, you should smile more. Like it was giving weird for me and creepy. But if you're gonna compliment someone. Why to obtain power, manipulate me into conceding to whatever you want? Why neg me into that? Just do it right the first time. So it was very interesting. And in her story, when I originally heard the word, her story was actually, I felt bad. Because going back to the dating thing, because I've been toggling back and forth if I want to get back into dating or not. Obviously, when I do, I'm going to do it very differently than what I've done before. But this happened to her, like with the initial match of her and some dude. And it's like, dang, you can't even get through introductions.
No.
Without being insulted in some type of way, all because of what they perceive your accolades are and what you potentially bring to the table, whatever your value is. They're already threatened, so they're already going to lash back by negging. I'm gonna keep trying to use the word, but yeah, it was very off-putting.
Yeah, it is. And two, which is why, like, when I have these conversations, I know I always want to, like, not necessarily backpedal, but like reiterate that, like, oh, it's everyone. I know that because, and this creator, I follow him. His name is Thor. His real name's like Thorian, I think. He has a really cool name. But he is the one who's like chopping down trees.
Okay.
If you follow him,
Clickbait.
you know exactly who I'm talking about. But recently he's been having good takes, and then not recently, he has good takes often. But somebody commented like, oh, it's not just men, like it's women too, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, there's so many ways to get food poisoning. You can get food poisoning from water, and you can get food poisoning from chicken. But one of those happens a lot more often than the other.
Very true.
So it changes the way that you handle your chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the same case. Like, yes, anybody can do anything. But one of them happens more often.
Very true.
So when I talk, it's going to be like, I know we're sharing our experiences because I too have experienced negging at the hands of women as well, especially at work. And in terms of dating, it's just crazy to see what like women are going through, which definitely has me sitting on the sidelines. Be like, God's going to have to move in my life because I'm not wasting energy on it.
Not at all.
Just for somebody's son to disrespect me? Absolutely not.
Not at all. Or anyway, I'm not going to. It was just so much that I had to like reflect back on and be like, there's a word for it. So of course then use words like, oh, he's an asshole. Oh, he's a jerk. Oh, he's a creep. But like, no, your action, what you're doing, there is finally a word for it to where I can go back and be like, you know what, stop negging me. Just stop. Just like they used to always say, oh, girls be nagging all the time. My old lady nagging all the time. Well, my old man, you nagging too much. And you only get one with me. Because I don't have time to, well, y'all gonna get another side of me today. I don't have time to coddle whatever's going on with your self-confidence. I don't have time, especially if we're just meeting. Like, that's an unfair ask for me to tailor who I am and how you perceive me to be with well, I need to, temper myself just so he feels comfortable. Or she, they, non-binary, whoever. I'm too old now. This is who I am. If you don't like it, you don't have to be in this space, and vice versa. But we don't have to be rude and inconsiderate and nag each other anytime we're uncomfortable with being in the other person's space. And that, I thought we all grew out of that, but I guess not. Mm-hmm. It perpetuates differently. So yeah, that was my word of the day. Well, it was pretty full for me. Yes, I must be behind everybody else. But y'all will learn as you continue to watch this podcast how far behind Shanice is. Because there are a lot of reasons we can dissect that later.
Well, I think it's just because you don't spend as much time as I do on social media. Social media is a part of my work. I have to be on there. So
and I never really took to social media like most people. I like to post. Mm-hmm. But the whole engaging and always scrolling, I'm good.
Well, so yeah, it's fun for me. Well, that was all I had to contribute.
Sorry. So then so I wanted to take some time on this episode also to talk a little bit about something that came up. I was having a conversation with an old coworker of mine, and she brought up a few things. But the main thing that resonated with me was our common understanding of how our work ethic was, and how or pure existence, and how we struggle with the time of not doing anything. We just struggle sitting still, or even if it's just time not having work, because she too is a independent contractor in her own industry, and she too struggles with the time between clients. She's like, well, I know I'm finishing up this project, and this other project's not going to start for another 3 to 6 months. What do I do with myself? And so as we were talking about it, because first we were in agreement, yeah, what do you do when you don't have any work? Because this is what we do. This is who we are, blah, blah, blah. And then it turned into or this is a part of who we are. How can we actually leverage this time to do all the things that we probably said during the months we were working we wanted to do, but just couldn't because we were working? And we got a little bit deeper in regard to why can't that come forefront? So I wanted to talk a little bit about with you and our audience on what on how we can understand or prioritize that even in times of quote unquote rest or transition, that's work too. And what good work can we do to keep ourselves healthy, healing, happy, or just feeling like we're doing something during that time?
So I think it's person specific, and maybe I'm not the right person to ask because I have a lot of hobbies and a lot of projects. So I'm never not doing anything. I don't know if you were, I feel like paying attention is a rude word, but if you were looking, because remember how I was after this event, I'm going to take 4 days off. And it was supposed to be the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I worked the whole way through. Oh. I was gardening. I made some sugar scrub. I made lotion and hair gel and hair cream, cooked, and started working on my business. I changed my number, and I was just doing a whole bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I feel my days off, I get a lot more done on my days off when I don't have it when there's not pressure. Mm-hmm. But you just start to find different things that you're interested in doing, and then you just do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I feel like I've never been one to have hobbies. Or I didn't know that they were hobbies.
I would say you had hobbies, but that's why I said
like,
I'm not
or I
the
was.
one to.
I'm going. Let me backtrack. It's not that I didn't know I had hobbies. I didn't know I had permission to have hobbies. Big difference. Hobbies seem to have been perceived as laziness for me. So if I wasn't working on work, I'm not doing anything. I'm just like, what do they say? I'm effing around. So getting back to hobbies has been very difficult. And then me also understanding, well, what are my hobbies now that I'm older? Because there's a lot of things I can do, and there's a lot of things I cannot. That I was probably doing when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to figure out, like, okay, well, what are those hobbies that take up this in-between time? And are they still, fulfilling for me? But, or not discounting anything I just said. So yeah, that's that thought. But another thought that came to mind is this notion of being between like what was or what you were and what you're potentially becoming. But like it's unknown. You don't know what's coming up. So what I was, or I guess I'll give an example, a specific example. What I was this powerhouse HR practitioner who was doing all this work daily, beyond 9 to 5, daily, and doing all the community things. And now I'm in this space of transition where it's like, okay, that has settled or paused or completed, and I don't know what's coming. What the heck do I do with my time right now? And still making sure that I'm taking time to reflect from the previous me and all the things I was doing. Heal in the areas I need to heal to, take care of myself, but also then prepare. Because I think for me, I always go into this prepare for the next mode. Mm-hmm. And there's never this moment of me just like, well, just sit. Like, just take a rest. You did a lot of work. You put in a lot of hours and a lot of energy. Refuel yourself. What does that? But then I sit there and I'm like, well, what the heck does that look like? So, yeah. How do you speak to, or how do you, if at all, operate in that space of like what was and what's coming?
I don't think I've ever had to. I'm not going to say operate in that space.
Or even just exist. Like even just, and maybe this is a me problem and my friend. But maybe just like, yeah. Just be able to exist in that space without feeling like you're less than, or that you're not of value to your home life, your existence in the world.
Oh, I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm not there yet. Because even when I do, like, okay. I'm trying to explain this to where it makes sense. Like, you know how I make lists for everything. Mm-hmm. There is a point though where those lists start to work against me, and I'm just writing things down so I don't feel like a failure every day, rather than like actually being like, these are the things that I want to finish. So when I have those days, like I started doing my list differently for this week, because I found myself doing that. And it was just really unattainable, the things that I was like writing down. Like, nobody can do all this in one day. And like, that was my biggest complaint when I was working, when it's just like, you expect me to be so productive and produce something every day. Like, nobody can do that. So I just started just writing a big fat list and be like, just get to as many as you can. Anything you can't, moves to the next day. Anything you can't, moves to the next day. But on Monday, I know that I want to get this done in a week. So then it just moves to the side. So on those days when I want to just exist and watch a K-drama, like I started rewatching Business Proposal. Basically all the K-dramas that I was watching before.
I don't know what that is.
Cuz I watched Dang, there's one that I watched before Business Proposal. And it was like my favorite and I can't remember what it was. Anyway, but anytime that I even sit down and do that, I'm like, okay, Janelle, like, what are we doing? Mm-hmm. So like when I started feeling like that, if you notice, I've taken like 5 days to wash my clothes. So like I will watch a K-drama and just have my clothes going. So at least I know I'm doing something, like something's going in the background.
I see.
So it just makes me feel a little better. So it's just, I mean, you can't always do that because like
you have clean clothes.
But it's just like it's the nature of like the type of jobs that I need to do or the type of things that I need to get done. Like, editing this podcast like this morning, I wanted to like just take off my nail polish and chill. And so I just put on them headphones and let this podcast run and then, went through and edited where I needed to edit.
Right.
And then let it run to listen to it. And I'm about to post the episode we did last week today. But just finding ways to kind of multitask, lessen the blow a little bit without me fully actively being in on a task is helpful for me until I can graduate to be able to just lie flat and just not do anything all day.
Right.
But I'm not there yet.
I think I've been handling it the complete opposite, but I think that's just how my brain is. I'm very much like, it's either this or that. Either you're resting or you're working. And I never really found, or I have not yet found, not never, because it's coming. I have not yet found the in-between. Well, let me dial that back, because last week I did something different. So one thing I heavily struggle with is my personal or my brand pages on my social media. Keeping the contenting. And I found that when I at least design the content, like if I just sit down and crank out all of the designs of what it's going to be for that full week, a week prior, it allows me to be able to go outside and sit on the patio and just post it. Like I'll just upload it and post it, but I'm still getting like what I believe is rest for me in just sitting outside and not sitting in my office or just in front of the laptop screen in general. Same with one day I decided, you know what? I'm waking up late. I'm not going to start at my normal 10 o'clock. I'm going to start at 2 and just go into the night. That didn't work because I got so comfortable with my shows on Netflix that I ended up finishing the entire season of H-Town, Hightown. I think that's what it was called, Hightown. Yeah, Kate, Hightown. And it felt good, but that next day I was like, crap. I just wasted a whole day of doing quote unquote nothing when honestly I needed to rest. I've been doing a lot of work prior to that. So I think, and it came up in the conversations with me and my previous coworker too, like just being able to figure out what that balance is and then also being open to shifting and pivoting when necessary. It's a struggle. That's work in itself without it, being work.
I think it would be different. Oh, I'm about to burp. I think it also would be different if we didn't have to like constantly outrun our bills. Because then losing a day, quote unquote, wouldn't really be losing a day.
That's true.
So it's just like, not to be like, again, the system is set up for us to just be stressing and feeling like we're not doing enough and producing too much. But it's like, if we produce to this level, we're not going to have too many more years to be able to produce at all. So we might as well just take it slow, take off. Because also one thing I've been implementing, I'm taking random days off, because I've noticed since I've started obviously running my business, the calendar days off, or like the federal days off, don't really
they
apply.
don't really, yeah.
Like I'll put my away message on, but I'm still working the whole time. I'm still editing. I'm still, because things need to be up.
Right.
So if I want to take off a random Wednesday, I'm going to do that.
Right.
Now I will try my best to feel good about myself after I do it, but I'm going to get in the habit of doing it. So I'll at least get a little more comfortable.
Yeah. So I've done the same thing. I think I said every fourth Wednesday or every third Wednesday. One Wednesday out of the month, I'm just off. I haven't really been committing to it very well these past 7 months, but I'll get better. And like you said, the system, holidays, well, that too, but the system, yeah, it's not conducive for any of us to take the breaks that our bodies literally and naturally need. So being able to hear, like, when my body needs rest or needs to just get up and go outside or just do something different has been interesting, especially as a business owner, and what that looks like, where we're always told, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you need to hustle. Well, my hustle also looks like me walking my dog, because he needs to be walked. My hustle also looks like I need to eat, because I need to fuel my body. So being able to define it for myself has been an adventure. But there was something else that you said around the holidays, but I agree. These holidays, although I know the historical meanings of most of them, I use that as, okay, my clients or potential clients are out. So if I want to send something to them, they ain't gonna see it because they out. So this is my project day. Because they're not gonna reach out to me, and I'm not gonna reach out to them.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the only one that I really like zone in on, and I need to be sure to put my little away messages on, is Juneteenth. Thanksgiving. And Christmas.
See, I don't even do Thanksgiving. I do my birthday, which aligns with Thanksgiving.
Right, it's the same.
And then that 2 weeks of winter break.
Yeah.
If it aligns with Christmas, great. But that's also, Christmas and New Year.
I was going to say, too, about your get outside. That's why I was like, I don't think I'm the right person to ask this, because I've started, obviously I have my YouTube channel for those who have watched it. Thank you so much for being there. But I have made it on the last episode 2, I said I wanted to make a point to just live my life and be better at living my life where I am now. So those rest periods are not even really a rest and restoring, whatever. It's not really rest, because I'm always going to be filming for my channel. So it's that's why I'm the wrong person to ask, because now I will make it a point to go hiking, because now I'm getting footage. Right. I'll make it a point to go to these little events, even because remember when you were like, oh, do you want to go to the wine thing on Saturday? But then you're like, you're going to be at a meeting, and immediately I was like, nah, I don't want to go. And then I was like, but I need some footage, so I might need to just, because I don't necessarily, I don't enjoy going places by myself for the most part. Unless I am going to the library. But other than that, I don't really like going places by myself. But we're moving in courage. So but those are the type of things where I can just like get outside and go do what it is that I need to do.
Yeah.
And just have a different, because if I was not going to that, and who knows, I might wake up on Saturday, still not go. But if I was not going to that, then I'd wake up, fire up the computer and start editing or start doing social media or start like working on a website. And that's just work.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And even the going out to places, 'cause I think we filled up our August calendar going to a lot of different places. For me, as the empath that I am, it's overwhelming. Like, even though I enjoy being out in community and with people and learning and connecting with folks, it takes a lot of energy to do that. So I also made sure that I remind myself to block off the day after, block off a half day before and the day after, because I'm going to need that recharge. Because what weekend, where did we go? But it was like we went to 2 things in a row. 2 things, 2 days in a row. I can't remember.
We went to the boat thing, and then we went to the farmer's market the next
Yes.
day. It was a lot.
We crashed.
Oh, yeah.
Right after we got back from the farmer's, we were able to put our food away, but like we crashed.
It was like, you know, when you're on vacation and you wake up the next day, it was like that.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not doing any work today. So, yeah, you are right. There are ways to embed it in and still doing work like you do with recording while you're living your life or recharging and refreshing. And if you're not working, it still can be something of value too. To just take that time to do your hobbies and all the things that you enjoy. So I love to hear from our audience. What do y'all think about your in-between time, between one project or another, between just finishing up something and not sure where the next thing's going to be, or even anyone in the audience who might be going into retirement, because that's a transition too, like being able to close things out, but also like, well, now I'm going into retirement. What do I do? We'd love to hear from you and hear how all of that's going and what resonated with you on today's podcast. Yeah, I guess that's it for today. I thank y'all once again for returning to Sister Talks to listen to us talk. So if there's nothing else, we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.